Hi,
Hi,
Nayanika.
hi. How are you?
And Nayanika, you're looking stunning as usual.
Thank you.
So, Nayanika,
Bolo.
you just don't need any introduction. Kichu to lagbe na. Everyone knows that you are the heartthrob, you're the sweetheart of all the Indian fashion designers. Be it Manish Malhotra, be it Sabyasachi, be it Reena Dhaka, be it anyone. And so we are. মানে, আমরা যারা ছোট থেকে বলবো না, you are not that. You are just 90s kids.
Nah,
So যারা দেখেছি, so Nayanika, you are a stunner. So whenever I'm
thank you.
talking to my friends, they are saying, Achi, you are talking to the Nayanika Chatterjee, right? Yes. So this is what. So yes, today it's really a pleasure to talk to you, the Nayanika Chatterjee. So Nayanika, tell me, how's life? Ki korcho, and what are the things which is keeping you busy nowadays?
So basically, everyone I think has gone through a lot during the pandemic. I think
Actually.
no one has been actually saved this time from something such which is such an international phenomena. So the thing is that everyone has to rethink their lives and start things anew. A lot of professions have kind of collapsed and shut down. So I was, of course, shooting and all that before the pandemic, which completely stopped. And my grooming classes that were happening have now shifted online. So I started using online, which I was never convinced of before for classes.
Mm.
But because there was no choice, then we moved it, and then now it's quite workable. I, of course, prefer interaction personally, but you don't have a choice. And then the
Yes.
third thing is that I kind of started this whole page called India by Nayanika on Facebook and Instagram,
Mhm.
where I started promoting a lot of handmade artisans, craftspeople, because there are people who have had a relationship with over the years through my modeling and buying crafts from them and buying something or
Mm.
the other. And
Mhm.
during the pandemic, they called me and said, can you help us, Didi, kuch help kar sakte ho, thoda order chahiye, ye chahiye, wo chahiye. So it was the it was first initially to help them, and then I got so involved and I started enjoying it so much that now I'm quite into it. Yeah,
I know.
so
See, I was just going through your India by Nayanika, Indiya, right?
that's right.
And I
Yes.
love the logo. A face, it resembles so much of Bangali Durga, and then there is a lal dot or a lal bindi on her forehead. So
Actually,
it's
that I've
so,
made
it's,
myself.
oh, is it?
That I
It's
painted
beautiful.
myself. Yeah.
And why this Y? What is this Y stand for?
What
INDI,
is
why? I'm
why?
talking.
Because the thing is that first of all, I was thinking of handmade in India, and then I said that if I do ever want to move, because my whole point is not India, it's about humanity, saving humanity and this thing.
Mhm.
So I wanted, like BB Russell, she works a lot with artisans
Mm.
and she completely caters to all the needs of those people and their, you know, it's beyond just giving them employment. She looks after someone's schooling, someone's hospital bills, someone's this, someone's that, and also promotes them. So
Mm.
she and I have collaborated as well. Now that
Mhm.
doesn't fall under India, so to say, but it is a part of a brand that is India originated, but it's for craftsmen all over the world.
Oh,
Okay, so that
that's
was the why.
That's really
Yeah.
great. That's really great. So, Nayanika, let's go to the next question. See, Nayanika, you always have been very unconventional, be it your style, be it your looks, be it your thought process, maybe, be your the way you think. So, there are something which is unconventional about Nayanika Chatterjee, and and we are all aware that you have faced certain, constraints, certain, there were certain issues happened in your earlier career because of your skin tone, because of your look, which is not that conventional as far as the Indian beauty is concerned. So, but
Right.
still, you became the most successful ever in fashion industry in India. What actually
Right.
helped? What worked for you, Nayanika?
First of all, what worked for me was what
Uh,
worked abroad. At the same time, Naomi Campbell was making it really big in, Paris and
yes.
New York and everything. And I think whatever happens internationally, and we feel the ripple effect in India. and I was lucky enough to kind of, you know, be there at the right time at the right place. And also, it
Right.
was the same time as the fashion industry was kind of starting out, and designers were just coming back from abroad after having studied fashion seriously.
Hmm.
So I think it was, you know, the whole evolution of the fashion industry, and I just happened to be kind of, you know,
Just
there at the right time,
there
and
are
they
right
want,
time. Okay. So
yeah,
you
and
have
a
been
lot of
tagged as the
experimentation was
Indian
happening.
Naomi Campbell. At one point of time, you were known as the Indian Naomi Campbell. So that what you enjoyed, or that is that gave you? I think it's Nayanika Chatterjee. Why she should be called an Indian Naomi Campbell or the Indian version of Naomi Campbell?
Yeah, I actually always wanted to be me,
Yeah, exactly.
and I think that was important. So I never kind of ever said that myself. I mean, others might have said it, but I was not really
I
interested
understand. Yes,
in
yes, of
saying that
course.
myself.
Acha, Nayanika, with the gradual change of our lifestyle, our thought process, that's what we're talking about. The physical beauty is actually taking a backseat in today's state. Okay, now we are talking about the other attributes of beauty, other attributes of rather the other qualities of an Indian woman or a woman who would be successful in maybe in a corporate life or in a fashion show. Now, you being a grooming expert or you being a pageant coach, I would I would request you to elaborate more on that front, so that the girls who are aspiring to join, the big fashion world, what should be your message to them to, break all the barriers?
So basically, first of all, you have to be yourself. You know, I think that is what the world has come to today. It's not about faking it and trying to believe that you're someone else. If you realize what your strong points are and hone your strong points, and kind of underplay your negatives, okay, whatever you might feel your negatives are, you underplay them, bring out your strong points, be confident about yourself. And I think in life, if you put your best foot forward no matter what,
Mhm.
you give it a try. It's better, you know, they say, have the saying that it's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. I feel it's better to have tried and lost than never had tried at all.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
if you don't try, you don't know whether you're going to be successful or not. And something like, as you said, you know, the definition, there's no definite definition of beauty, right?
Beauty,
So the
right.
thing is that what is beautiful to me might not be beautiful to you. So the thing
Actually.
is that you have to give it a shot and try it. But then you also have to be realistic that it's not happening. Then you automatically should kind of move away and find something else to do with your life.
এই
So I
সময়টা
think,
কতটা, what is the time span যে you have to examine the things?
see, the thing is that if you're not progressively getting more and more work,
Hmm.
then I think you should realize that this is not happening. Okay,
Hmm.
if your the time periods of waiting become longer, that
Hmm.
means you are not successful in that,
Hmm.
right? So you should move on at that point of time.
Nanika, what exactly do you mean by grooming? What is the definition of grooming for people who are maybe who are not aware of what exactly the grooming is all about?
So grooming is about, first of all, basically the outer scrubbing. That's the physical scrubbing, like keeping your, you know, okay, I have to say hi to Erika because she's online, and I'm going to say hi to Madhu also. She's also online on this chat. Erika Packard, big kiss.
The
That's what she wants me to say. Uh, so the thing is that I think grooming, of course, you have to do some external grooming, like get your skin, your hair, your body to what you like. I mean, you don't have to be anyone else. You just, you know, have to like it yourself. And that is the external scrubbing. And internally, you must be confident of what you're putting out, what you're projecting about yourself. So your posture, your walk, because sometimes you inadvertently do some things that might not be perceived by someone else. Like, for example, if you bite your nails. Now, some people might consider it nervousness. Okay, Some people
Are ill
will,
mannered.
okay, like I used to bite my nails, but I think it was
Oh,
more
is it?
out of habit than nervousness all sometimes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So the thing is that it's a perception of other people, right? So you have to kind of figure out that, and you have to be confident in yourself and your posture. What you want to project is what your posture, your body language must say. Okay, then things like people are not aware what kind of suits them in terms of clothing, what is the
Mm-hmm.
right kind of clothing, climatically, otherwise. So the whole process is a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you
Don't you think that it's actually, sometimes it's not right to, just a sec, just a sec. So, yeah. So what I
Hi,
was saying,
Bhumika. Hmm. Yeah.
Nayanika, when you're talking about a grooming or the outer scrubbing or whatever you're saying, don't you think we are losing our own natural stuffs?
Losing, no, why? If you're washing your face in the morning or
Mm-hmm.
keeping your hair well
Mm-hmm.
because you want to, okay, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to keep
Mm-hmm.
it shabby, that's up to you. But if you want to keep it well and you want to wash your face to look clean, to look
Mm-hmm.
fresh,
Mm-hmm.
what is wrong with that? See, the
There's
thing
nothing
is
wrong.
that
See, I'm sorry. Yeah.
everyone, no, everyone has good points and bad points. You have to kind of discover what are yours and make them shine. You hone it. Like if you have silverware in your house, you
Mm-hmm.
polish your silver or your brass, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
why not
Absolutely.
yourself? You, when you go to someone's house or if you're going to a wedding or a birthday party, you wrap a gift, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
it's about presentation. So if you're talking about presentation of things around, you decorate your house. It's an extension of yourself. So even
Mm-hmm.
your clothing and your appearance is a presentation of yourself. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
important that you present it the way you want to. Hi, Binny. Sorry, I'm constantly
Yeah,
saying
it's
hi
good.
to my friends who join.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. Absolutely. So, Nayanika, just to tell me something about, we were talking about the grooming part and we were talking about, brushing yourself. Nowadays, we are hearing something called body positivity or inclusivity. We are
Right.
seeing that obese or, not obese, the fatter people are on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ramps
right.
and, gay people are on the ramps, with different sexuality, transgenders are on the ramp. So, do you think it's actually a trend, it's a fad, or it's actually going to phase out with time, or it's just a fad, or it is actually very serious and fair going on?
Okay. Again, I'm going to say hi first to Kuntunil and I'm going to say to Abhimanyu, hi, before I move on to the answer to the question. I feel, of course, it's uh, it's a it's a time where we have to be a little bit more inclusive of the whole world. There was too
Mm-hmm.
much hate coming up against certain communities or certain looks or certain things, and I think this was about to happen. Maybe in another 10 years, maybe you won't see so many gay people or other people, but right now it is a chance for them to get accepted in society at large. It's not about the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
acceptance. And this is the way,
Mm-hmm.
and fashion, movies, these are the things that have always led the way for a lot of thought processes like this, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
that we can take the precedence and say, yes, you can be a part of society without being ostracized, without being neglected, and understanding these people. Okay, so that's very important, and it was about time that something like this happened. For example, I have always been not an anorexically thin model. I've been
Mm-hmm.
pretty normal in my weight and everything, but I was considered big for modeling a lot of times.
Was
Uh,
it?
but this was a size that most women were who were buying the clothes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was not too thin, I was not too fat, I was normal, which a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the people who had the buying power were my size. So I was always fighting against the weight issue, but then the people used to come up and say, okay, if you're wearing it, maybe I can wear it as well. A lot of ladies. So I think it was time that people accepted that there are various sizes, there are various colors, there are
Hmm.
various groups of people
Hmm.
with different mindsets, and everyone has to be accepted.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Another thing,
so
Nayanika,
that,
yeah, you just
yeah,
continue. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
no, no, no,
No, no,
tell me.
no, no. What I was actually referring to, the body positivity, or the fatter people, the fatter women, showcasing bridal collection for a very renowned, fashion designer of India. So I don't. I think that's really a change. But um, do you think that it's really healthy to showcase a fat person? Because you need to be, the message should be very clear to that person that you need to really lose weight, you really need to look fitter, you need to be healthier, and you should not look obese, and just for the sake of body positivity, we are propaganding something which is not right. Maybe that's what my thought process.
No, now the thing is that there are different. What I am saying is that we're not trying to propagate obesity, okay,
Hmm.
or unhealthy lifestyle.
Hmm.
But
Correct.
there are people who have bone structures which are big, or genetically they put on a lot of weight, and
Hormonal
that they
issues.
cannot control. Okay, I know a lot of people who work out like crazy, okay, and I know them well, and they work out like crazy, they're controlling
I'm
their
one of them.
food, okay, but i I am thinner than them without
uh,
doing as much as they do, okay,
mhm,
because they cannot break out of their genetic material. Now
mhm,
for them to constantly have this battle that I have to be a certain size, it's for them that body positivity has come across. It's not
mhm,
about kind of promoting obesity. I think that's
mhm.
completely wrong. If you
Okay.
have just gorged and not looked after yourself and put on weight, and then you say, okay, please accept me and all that, that is wrong. But if you have a problem, or if your bone structure is bigger, then people shouldn't look down upon you. Because in the thing, if you're not a certain size, you're not considered good enough for modeling. Okay, and then okay, actresses have to be a little bit more voluptuous. Their thin girls are looked down upon.
Mm,
Also, if you're too thin. Now, I know genetically very thin people, they're eating constantly, trying to put on weight, and they can't. So there are both sides of the coin. We look at the obese people more because it's out there in your faces, but there are a lot of thin people who are struggling with that as well. So
mm,
it's all over, and it's also not about just that. Like, for example, dark skin, you can't do anything about it. So you must be able to accept it, right?
mm,
And
mm,
kind of conquer it and be
mm,
proud and own it. Okay, and
mm,
that's when it's difficult. But now a lot of us have paved the way for things like this. So we must take that and carry that through. That, yes, everyone can be a part of it. There's nothing wrong in skin color. Or if you've tried so hard to lose the weight and you can't, then be accepting of yourself. Don't give yourself, such a hard time. And kind of, you know, and everyone, I think, has to just be a little kinder towards everyone else.
That's nice. Yeah, that's very nice way of putting things. But I think that's really difficult. What you're saying is actually not happening in the real life. People have always been looked down, and they have been insulted, for their physical appearance. So I think, yeah, that's the saddest part of the whole story. Now, Nanika, what I ask you, see, you being one of the most successful, the ramp model, or the successful showstoppers for most of the Indian or international brands and the Indian fashion designers. Just, I have a small query, absolutely completely from the revenue perspective, from the business perspective, from India perspective. Don't you think fashion in India is extremely Mumbai centric? Why don't you
Not at
think that?
all.
Let me. Why? Oh,
Okay.
that's really nice and that's really positive. My question
Yeah.
was absolutely the opposite to, of course, that why we are not actually trying to cross the boundaries of that Mumbai city and going to the other cities, like maybe a Guwahati, maybe a Patna, maybe a Ranchi, or maybe a Coimbatore. So why we are, sticking to that typical Mumbai culture? And
No.
my
Yeah.
second question to this also, don't you think Indian fashion has lot of impact on Bollywood, or maybe vice versa. So what's your take, Nayanika, on this?
Okay, first of all, it is a cities which came up with a whole lot of designers initially, and Bombay is where it kind of picked up initially, and then it kind of is spreading. But I have to tell you that fashion is very, very, very big in Delhi. I wouldn't have admitted that because I was a Bombay person, but I have to tell you, there is much more fashion in Delhi because again, Delhi is climatically oriented. There is winter, there is summer. You actually have things like fall and spring, so your clothing actually can change. For example, Bombay, you have to have this predominantly the same clothing all through the year. Okay, maybe December you might take out a cardigan. I mean, I didn't even possess winter clothes when I moved to Delhi.
Oh.
So it was because it was a commercial hub. And when there's a commercial hub, so Bombay started out, it is still is a commercial capital of our country. So the thing is
Absolutely.
that it started out there as a business. But right now, Delhi is full of fashion. There are now more and more shoots happening, more shows, and it's pretty much, and of course you see much more fashion in Delhi because of the climatic conditions. Now that's one part of it. Also that Bombay used to be, now Bombay has also moved because Delhi and all the other cities which can generate business as well, there is more space in Delhi. So now I think a lot of it has moved. But of course, the commercial part, like advertising agencies, all that is still in Bombay. It is yet to move. They've just about opened a Filmistan here and everything. Delhi never used to have this kind of an infrastructure for fashion before, but now it's heading towards that. Also, the second part of your question
No,
was the fact that Bollywood.
first part of my question still exists. So you were talking most of the two cities like Mumbai and Delhi, right? I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Now the thing
cities
is
like
that
Ranchi or a Patna or a Kolkata or a Guwahati or a Coimbatore.
you'll be surprised now. Okay, things have changed a lot. I mean, I've done shows, so many shows in Guwahati. Okay,
Is it?
much more than I've done in, say, maybe Pune. Okay, now
Okay.
Pune is more cosmopolitan, so to say.
Yes,
But
of course.
Guwahati,
Yeah.
I've done much more shows. I've done shows in Shiliguri. Okay, the smaller
Oh, is it?
places in Bengal.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I
Oh,
have.
okay. Okay.
I have done
Okay.
fashion events there. We have done femina modeling contests there. Then a lot of West Bengal based contests were also having their sub contests in these cities, in Guwahati, in Siliguri, Shillong.
Oh,
Okay,
I mean,
here we've done
I was
shows
not aware of it. Oh,
we've done
okay.
shows in Chandigarh, in Dehradun. So,
Okay.
there is a whole lot of stuff happening in smaller cities. Of course, the budgets are low, the media coverage may be less, so you don't see about it or hear about it. But fashion is everywhere. Okay, now you might deal with couture, or you might deal what we normally as lay people deal with press fashion, which is ready to wear, right? So the thing is, in ready to wear, even say a rickshaw driver, when he buys his one shirt or two shirts in a year, or whenever he buys it, he decides what he wants,
I
right?
agree.
He will buy a black shirt or a blue shirt or a red shirt because that is his fashion consciousness. Okay, he's not just going to pick up any shirt because it's in it. Even in that budget, he's going to choose his shirt, right? So I think there's
True.
fashion everywhere. It is a degree and the commercial value that changes. But it goes down to the basic level right to the top.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
now the second part of the question is that unfortunately Bollywood and TV serials are right there in people's lives whether they want to or not. Because one, Bollywood is very, I mean, even Hollywood is big in America, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
and Bollywood is big
But
here.
Hollywood does not control the lives of Americans.
No, because there the fashion industry is equally big. The brands have become equally big. Here, there's nothing bigger than the film industry, or except maybe cricket. Okay,
Correct.
cricket and the film industry are the top two, right? And
I
the
agree.
rest is, yeah. And of course, the financial stakes. Please understand, in a film and a fashion show is vastly different. Okay, and it reaches the masses. A movie, even it goes to small towns, when a Shah Rukh Khan or a Salman Khan movie releases, it will still go to a small town. A fashion show will not go to a small town. Okay, a TV serial guy, okay, or a girl acting on TV, it's there in your bedrooms, and sometimes it's on free channels, right? So you have people in your bedrooms, in your house, FOC. Whereas a fashion event is very few and far between. You might just see couture weeks, and now with digital platforms coming up, you see it a little bit more. But otherwise, it was not so closely connected to the layman, right? And of course, fashion is always projected as, oh, it's expensive and it's couture. I mean, even Sarojini Nagar, when you go to buy clothes, or say you go to Newmarket in Kolkata, or you go to Fashion Street in Bombay, where you can pick up things for 120, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, that's also fashion. Okay.
I
But
agree. I agree.
yeah. So
But
the thing is,
I really don't
unfortunately,
want to. I don't want to get into that controversial question, Nayanika. That the pricing, the brand. A few weeks ago, you must be knowing that
there's
there
no
was
point.
such a hell. Yeah.
No, but I have to just tell you that, like you get a TV, you can get a big HD TV, you can get it for 20,000, right?
Correct.
Okay, you might be getting it for even 10, 15,000. And then it will the same TV is 2,50,000. It
Correct.
could be 15 lakhs also. So the same thing is about clothing. It
So
just
you're
depends
saying
on
that we
who's
have to
better.
pay so much of money for a brand?
Well, each brand has their press collections as well. Okay. So the thing is that it's the value. It's like, why do you pay 3 lakhs for a best quality diamond? It's a stone at the end of the day.
But
You know,
is it
there are
again? Okay, fine.
various ways of looking at it. It's the different people have different perceptions. I myself might not follow it. Like, I don't believe that I should buy a hugely expensive branded bag just because it's branded.
I
Okay.
understand. See,
Like
suppose
for
the
me,
T-shirt which
I
I'm
would rather
wearing.
use this, which is,
Right, right.
a
I
fiber from
understand.
India or something like that. And it's affordable and I can get rid of it after a few months and come back with another
Correct.
style.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it just depends on who the person you are, what is your socio-economic background, and then how you can go about it.
Right. So, with this context of this Bollywood, I would like to ask you one thing again. There is a change which has been noticed for the last few years, maybe the ramp, Bollywood faces are now becoming the showstoppers in today's date. Don't you think that's a huge blow to the fashion industry, to the fashion
It's
models?
a huge blow. There is no doubt about it. Okay. And it's a very unfortunate blow because, first of all, I think when a designer is creating an outfit, whoever's creating anything, each product of theirs is equally dear to them.
Correct.
Okay, it's
Very
not just
true.
that one outfit. Now you're not only giving that one outfit importance, not really looking at the rest, and then sometimes you're not even giving it any importance because the star who's wearing that outfit has got more importance rather than the outfit or your design ethics or
Absolutely
your
true.
work.
Absolutely true.
So
Absolutely
that
true.
is that. And then, for example, you're taking away the importance of models if you're going to put just anyone because they're famous. I mean, tomorrow, would I go to a cricket field and start playing cricket? No, right?
No,
I
it's
won't.
not that. It's not that. But I think I agree to the point what you were saying. Like if I am a very popular face and I'm wearing a particular brand, I think I am bigger than the brand right now. So
Yeah.
whenever we are talking about a Nayanika Chatterjee showcasing a brand, so Nayanika is equally big, maybe equally bigger, or she might be a bigger brand than the brand she's wearing. So
But
I'm not getting.
the only point is that unfortunately in our country, if you go down to a village of any part in the country and you ask, Kareena Kapoor ko jante ho? They'll say, हाँ. Then they say, Nayanika Chatterjee ko jante ho? Kaun? That's a big difference, okay? So the advertiser who's spending the money,
he is not bothered about the Nayanika Chatterjee, right?
no.
That's so interesting. Yes, that's the saddest. Again, that's the saddest story of India. Okay, today, Nayanika, you have always been very vocal about using the filters for the portfolios, which the girls are actually preparing for, who are actually the aspirants for modeling and all. What's your advice to those girls about making a perfect portfolio?
First of all, the concept of the perfect portfolio is gone. Okay.
Okay.
Initially,
Oh, that's the news. Okay.
We used to spend a lot of money on portfolios back in the day, and we used to try different makeup looks and different hairstyles and different clothing and all that, and kind of drown yourself. Also, in the middle, a trend has started of faking it, right? So you can now edit your pictures and you can change things around. So sometimes it's happened to me because I do so many contests and I'm auditioning girls for the contest and they've sent me the pictures before. And when they've actually come there, I'm looking at this girl and I said, I've never seen her before, but this name is familiar. And then I look back in my files and I say, oh my God, she's completely different from what the picture she sent to me, right? So now that became so common and it was really, sad that, we couldn't make out who was coming and sometimes the pictures were so edited, sizes were going wrong, color, skin color was being changed, eye color was being changed. I mean, it was just going berserk. So then I think the whole trend has changed now where people want to see you in your natural self.
Correct.
Okay, with the minimalist of makeup, because they can always edit and they can always put you into various garments. If they feel like your basic personality or your face or your bone structure speaks to them or they can identify it with their brand or their creation. So that is more important. I like the basic self that you have. Okay, so I think the portfolios have become very simple. It's more what they call now the Polaroid style. There's minimal makeup, a tight t-shirt, or of course, boys can also wear jeans and everything, a trouser, and just straight on one profile this way,
and
one
then your
profile
side.
this way. Yeah, and then a little bit of posing to show your body language a little bit, so they know that you're easy in front of the camera, that you're not stiff, and that's about it. And you can actually shoot it on a phone and email it for better resolution. Okay, so instead of just WhatsApping, then you lose the resolution in the pictures. So, do email and then send it to the agencies, and that is what people prefer. You don't have to spend all that money and do different looks and one Kathakali eyes and then wear head scarves and things. And, olden days is to spend so much money and then there's to give the model sunglasses to wear. You want to see people's eyes and see what the expression is, right? If you're going to just see two round little things, then dark things, then it's no point. So that's what I'm saying. Portfolios are simplified. Don't need to spend some money like this. Okay, and at a later stage, if you feel that yes, you need some nicer pictures, some pictures for publicity, then you can do a shoot with a photographer. Who
I think Nayanika with your data connectivity, yeah.
Hello, is this better?
Yeah, it's better, but still the picture
Yeah.
is not very
Okay.
clear. Okay.
Okay. I'm on Wi-Fi, so I don't know why.
I think I'm visible. I'm not frozen or.
Okay, I can hear you and see you.
Okay, but you are a bit fizzy, so it's okay. It's okay. Fine. Now it's okay. Fine. Now it's better. Yeah. So now we are, coming to more or less to the end of the show. So end of our discussion. Nayanika, যেটা জিজ্ঞেস করছি যে you are related to a Bengali icon, and that is Soumitra Chatterjee. যেটা অনেকেই হয়তো জানে না. So do you want to share some memories with Soumitra for the Bengali audience who are watching this? সৌমিত্র চট্টোপাধ্যায়ের সাথে কোনো রকমের কোনো রিলেশনশিপ, কোনো রকমের কোনো মেমোরিজ যেটা তোমার মনে হয় you can share on the screen?
I mean, first of all, I didn't realize that he was an actor because we were in Bombay when, he was doing a lot of movies then. Bombay, you never really got to see a lot of films in Bengali because they were not played in movie theaters and everything. So whenever I used to go to see a movie, for me, it was like so exciting because my uncle was on screen. Like when I saw Hirok Raja Desh and all that, I was like jumping in my seat because, when you know someone so closely and then suddenly you're, kind of seeing him on screen. So it was a crazy kind of feeling when I was growing up, and especially when you're younger and, you don't realize all this. You say, oh my God, he's done this movie and, he was
and
like
Kaku on the screen and
yeah,
all, right?
It was like that kind of a moment. And then, of course, he and my father are only 1.5 years apart. And so they were very close also. And actually, all the brothers are very close. So there was always a lot of fun and joking and, and I remember going to his house when we were growing up. And there was always like what we call an adda session in the evenings if he was not shooting. So there would be a whole lot of people and my father was always telling some stories and jokes and Pulukakun would be adding to it. And they would go on and we were very, very happy because then the kids could play till late, So that is the most fun things that I remember, that the parents used to be in one room and used to be in the other room and we used to have our own fun.
Nayanika, আরেকটা কথা. There are many people who are saying, "Acha, Nayanika Chatterjee Bangla bolte pare? Does she understand Bangla? Can she speak Bangla?" So for them, can you speak Bangla for some time? কিছু বলো বাংলায়।
আমি বাংলা বলতে পারি, আমি বাংলা পড়তে পারি, আমি লিখতে পারি। পড়তে আর লিখতে একটু অসুবিধা হয় because I don't have that much practice, কিন্তু আমি বাংলা ভালোই বলতে পারি।
প্লাস তোমার তো বোধহয় একটা টাইম তুমি অনেকদিন কলকাতাতে পড়াশোনা করেছো মডার্ন হাইতে।
Yes, I studied in Modern High from class 6 to class 10. তো
That's pretty long time. 4 বছর is আর ওই ফরম্যাট
থার্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শিখতে হয়েছিল আমায় বাংলা। Hindi was my second language, but Bangla was my third language. But শিখেছিলাম, but বোম্বেতেই শিখে নিয়েছিলাম আগে।
Okay. So that's really cool. Nayanika Chatterjee is speaking in Bangla, so it's a news. So Nayanika, before we end, I just ask you a very short, I shouldn't tag it as a rapid fire, but I would like to ask you some questions, which is just have to give answers. And it's nothing, there's no hamper to it. There's no hamper attached.
Okay.
So,
now you're making me bite my nails, huh?
No. So Nayanika, zero size or voluptuous?
Voluptuous.
Yes, I think I should also vote for it. Right?
Yeah. Any day.
I think Indian male. I don't know about the women, but Indian males are always for a Sridevi or a Madhuri or a Hema or a Rekha. I'm talking about again from the Bollywood perspective. So
why not? I mean, so, I don't want to have a man's body being a woman. And if you're a size 0, you're pretty much nothing. So I think I'm quite happy being voluptuous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. True. Very true. Lehenga or a sari?
Pardon?
Lehenga or a sari?
A sari. That is what I would wear.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Much more, but to model it, I think a lehenga. But the sari wear light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sari in real life and lehenga for modeling.
Oh, okay. So both.
Yeah.
Fashion ramp or Bollywood screen?
Fashion ramp.
So you have never been, attracted to Bollywood screen, or you have not got any chance? Konta hoyche?
No. I got chances. They were not all
You are
chances that
part
I
of fashion
wanted.
also, no? You're a part of
Yes,
fashion over there.
fashion. I did a little thing in Boom, which was a super scary film. But uh, the thing is that I always like to try different media, different mediums. Okay, I always wanted to do that. Kind of got quenched when I did fashion because I could see what was going on and everything. I like to know what's going on in the other, allied kind of industries. But I didn't think it was for me at that point when I was getting a lot of offers because they were not open enough. Today there's parallel cinema, which is very strong. That time parallel cinema was was just a thin line, so I didn't think I would kind of get the kind of stuff that I wanted to do. So that's why I kind of stayed away. And being realistic is very important in the glamour industry. Like, you have a whole lot of people who will always tell you, oh, you're beautiful, ki shundor, ki bhalo, ki mishti. That doesn't mean that you can become a model or an actor or everything. You understand? So it's a different thing. But you have to realize that it's not that just because everyone calls you sweet at home because they love you that you can make it in the industries always. So
I
being
understand.
realistic is very important. Understanding how much you can go, that's very important.
I was just going through some of your interviews যেখানে তুমি বলছিলে যে I am a very real person and I hate the so-called fake things in our industry. So that's really bold. That's really bold. Yeah, that's really bold. So fake is not accepted at any point of time. So that's really great. And Monish Malhotra or Sabyasachi?
Both.
You're not getting the
Both.
hamper anyways.
No, I'm not getting the hamper. I don't want the hamper because I want to work with both because I enjoy working with both. I've realized if you ask me for one favorite designer, I would never be able to say it because there's so many designers
Khub
that I
স্বাভাবিক.
like whose styles work differently at different occasions and different times. I mean, I like Shahab Darazi's gowns in Bombay and I like James Ferreira's clothes in Bombay as well. And they're completely different. Then there's Abu Sandeep in Bombay, whose clothes I also like. Okay, now there's Tarun here, there's Anamika Khanna as well as Sabya in Kolkata. So there are lots of designers who I have worn over the years and I've really enjoyed wearing them. And at different times of my life, I've had different designers who've, been important in my, aesthetic sense. So I cannot say that this over this. And at some point, I have kind of, and I've seen so much. And I've seen so many people grow, change, so many different shows. So at some point or the other, you make a connection with them or their clothes. So I can't really, and I think it's being very unfair to the others who I've even not mentioned right now, who I really liked and worn their clothes.
I understand. Yeah, yeah. So Ajay Bishta Jay, his
Yeah, Ajay.
writings,
Hi, Ajay. Hi,
Noyan is an
Yashasvi.
epitome of professionalism and an absolute pleasure to work with. Okay.
Thank you.
So there are
Thank
a
you.
lot of fan followers now writing on your wall, Nayanika. So with that
Okay.
note, we are coming to the end of the show. So agree, and she's a rooted person. Yes, that's what I also feel, Nayanika. It was really, really nice talking to you. You being such a diva and a supermodel, but I find you so grounded, so nice, so warm, and that's really something I've learned from you, Nayanika.
Okay, but I
So
just have
to
to
be
tell you
humble,
one
to
last
remain
thing.
grounded, so that's so sweet and nice of you.
But I have to tell you one more thing, Shubhadeep, that in the glamour industry, if you're so real and so grounded, people don't think you're a star. unless you throw the tantrums. That's also one thing I've
But
learned
you
along the way.
are a star, and I don't think that you have to prove that you are a star. I think you are, of course, one of the biggest star ever on Indian rap. So that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And who really cares about, you know, I don't think that you really care about it, Nayanika, any further. So yeah. So I wish you all the very
You know,
best for your India.
Instagram is a living example of what I think is that I have worked now, if you include the pandemic years also, for 32
Mm-hmm,
years, because I've recently done a shooting, and I've
mm-hmm,
been in this industry, and I don't
mm-hmm,
have as many, followers on Instagram
mm-hmm,
as a lot
mm-hmm.
of youngsters, including my daughter and my husband and everyone, who've got way more followers than me. But then I think to myself, I said that still no one can take away my 32 years of work, right? I mean,
Actually,
I might not
actually.
have the followers, might not have so many pictures to put up or whatever, but I've still worked for 32 years and I've done it and I've had a great time and I've loved my work.
Actually, you are still the Nayanika Chatterjee. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So please remain like this, and so please always be like this, Nayanika. You were such a sweetheart, and it was really, really nice talking to you. It was really nice talking to you. But যাওয়ার আগে
Thank you.
একটা just ছোট জিনিস বলছি, নয়নিকা, এই ভিডিওটাকে একটু ডাউনলোড করে can you please forward it to me, because আমি জানি না আমি ডাউনলোড করতে পারবো কিনা. Because I think there
Okay.
would be an option once we close the live show,
Okay.
as you have
I have to
invited me.
figure this out. My daughter normally does this
No,
for
that's
me.
fine. Live
So,
করলেই ওটা বোধহয় আসবে. So I think that could be done.
okay.
আর যদি আমি করতে
Okay.
পারি, it would be also great.
I'm
So
just going to figure this out.
please
Yeah.
do, because so that I can get that video and I can
Oh my
publish it
God,
in
I
my
don't know how to do
other
this.
pages.
Yeah.
So before I
Okay.
say bye to you, Nayanika, I would also like to request other people to join me and follow me on my Instagram and follow me on my YouTube channel, Talkathon with Subhadip. So again, Nayanika, bye-bye, and please download the video and send it to me.
Okay, I'm going to try. And thank you
Please do.
everyone for joining in. Shubhra, Ajay, I can see Zero KD, and everyone else who had a lot of sweet messages.
There were a lot of
Food
hearts
Zone
flowing
Traveler.
hearts.
Yeah, Food Zone Traveler. Shucharita, Silk Bowl. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kavita. Hi. And yeah, cool. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.